biology, the scientific study of life. Ecological niches. The sum total of a species use the biotic and abiotic resources in its environment is called the species ecological niche. One way to grasp the concept is through an analogy made up ecologist Eugene Odom. If an organism's habitat is its address, the niche is the organism's profession, but another way, an organism's niche, it is ecological role, how it fit into an ecosystem. For example, the niche of a tropical tree lizard consists of, among many components, of the temperature range it tolerates, the size of the branches on which it breaches, the time of day when it is active, and the sizes and kinds of insects it eats. We can use the niche concept to restate the competitive exclusion principle. Two species cannot coexist in a community if their niches are identical. However, ecological similar species can coexist in a community if there are one or more significant differences in their niches. As a result of competitions, a species fundamental niche, which is the niche potentially occupied by that species, may be different from its realized niche. The niche is it actually occupies in a particular environment. Resource partitioning. When competition between species having identical niches does not lead to local extinction of their species, it is generally because one species niche becomes modified. In other words, evolution by natural selection can result in one of the species using a different set of resources. The differentiation of niches that enables similar species to coexist in a community is called resources partitioning, as shown in this figure. You can think of resource partitioning in a community as the ghost of competition past, in indirect evidence of interspecific competition resolved by the evolution of niche differentiation. Character displacement. A related line of indirect evidence of the effects of competition comes from comparison of closely related species whose populations are sometimes allopatric, geographical separate, and sometimes sympatric, geographical overlapping. In some cases, the allopatric populations of such species are morphologically similar and use similar resources. By contrast, sympatric populations, which would potentially compete for resources, show differences in body structure and in the resources they use. This tendency for characteristics to be more divergent in sympatric populations of two species than in allopatric populations of the same two species is called character displacement. An example of character displacement is the variation in beak size between different populations of the Galapagos finches. Geospiza fuliginosa, as shown this type of bears, and Geospera forets. Notice the two kinds of bears. Predation refers to a positive negative interaction between species in which one species or the predator kills and eats the other. Though the term predation generally lists such images as a lion attacking and eating an antelope, it applies to a wide range of interactions defined by the killing of a prey. For instance, animals such as certain weevils that show up or digest plant seeds, thereby killing them, are called sea predators because eating the avoiding being eaten are prerequisites to reproductive success. The adaptations of both predators and prey tend to be refined through natural selection. Many important feeding adaptations of predators are both obvious and familiar. Most predators have acquired senses that enable them to locate and identify potential prey. In addition, many predators have adaptations such as claws, teeth, fangs, stingers, or poisons that help catch and subdue the organisms on which they feed. Rattlesnakes and the pit vipers, for example, locate their prey with heat sensing organs located between each eye and nostril, and they kill small birds and mammals by injecting them with toxins through their fangs. Predators that pursue their prey are generally fast and agile, whereas those that lie in ambush are often disguised in their environments. Just as predators possess adaptations for securing prey, animals have adaptations that help them avoid being eaten. Behavioral defenses include hiding, fleeing, and self-defense. Active self-defense is not common, though some large grazing mammals vigorously defend their young from predators such as lions. Other behaviors defense include alarm calls, summon many individuals of the prey species, which then mob the predators. Animals also display a variety of morphological and physiological defensive adaptive. For example, cryptic coloration or camouflage makes prey difficult to spot. Other animals have mechanical or chemical defenses. For example, most predators are strongly discouraged by the familiar defense of Procopins and sharks. Some animals, such as the poisonous arrow frog of Costa Rica, can synthesize toxins, while others passively acquired chemical defense by accumulating toxins from the plants they eat. Animals with effective chemical defenses often exhibit bright warning coloration, epizootic coloration, like that of the poison arrow frog. Aposematic coloration seems to be adaptive. There is evidence that predators are particularly cautious in dealing with potential prey having bright color patterns as shown in this figure. Sometimes one prey species may gain significant protection by mimicking the appearance of another. The petagen mimicry, habitable or harmless species mimics an unpalatable or harmful model. For example, the larva of the hawk moth puffs up its head and throats when disturbed, looking like the head of a small poisonous snake. In Mullerian mimicry, two or more unpalatable species such as the cocoa bee and yellow jacket resemble each other. Presumably, each species gains an additional advantage because the greater number of unpalatable prey, the more quickly and intensely predator adapt, avoiding an prey with that particular appearance. The shared appearance thus becomes a kind of aposematic coloration in an example of convergent evolution. Unpalatable animals in several different taxa have similar patterns of coloration. Black and yellow or red stripes characterize unpalatable animals as diverse as yellow jackets and coral snakes. Predators also use mimicry in a variety of ways. For example, some snapping turtles have tongues that resemble a wriggling worm, thus luring small fish. Any fish that tries to eat the bait is itself quickly consumed as the turtle's strong jaws snap closed.